We're going to be talking about protecting student information. My name is Marian Brainerd and I'm the University Registrar. As a GTA, one of the things that's important for you to know is that we have an obligation, and you do as well as an employee of Wright State University, to protect confidential student information. And this is through a federal act called the Family Education Rights and Privacy Act, commonly known as FERPA. As far as you're concerned as a GTA, no student information should be released to a third party. This includes parents. Sometimes parents will call and they'll ask for information regarding their student. We can only release that information if we have on file a recent federal tax return indicating the student is a dependent, or a form signed by the student giving permission for the student to have that information. So before you would release that information to a parent, you would need to check with the registrar's office to make sure that we have that information on file. Some of the information that's confidential is a class schedule, any grades that they receive, test scores, transcripts, all of that information, and you would have access to the grades, needs to be protected. And that can be handwritten notes you have, it can be on a flash drive, it can be on your computer. It doesn't matter what format, we have an obligation to protect it. Sometimes you may get requests from others at Wright State to view a student's information, and the guidelines in terms of whether it's reasonable to release it or whether there's a legitimate educational need to know. So for instance, if your department chair wanted to have access to information, he or she would have a legitimate educational need to know. If another GTA was inquiring and was not associated with that class, there would not be a legitimate educational need to know, so it should not be released. There are some general practices that I'd like to review quickly with you in terms of how to protect student information. You should password protect your computer and never walk away from it without logging out. You should lock confidential information in your office. You should avoid having confidential information on flash drives, but if you do, make sure that you are very careful about the location and that it is not lost. You should not post grades with personally identifiable information, and that includes any part of the student's UID number, which is protected. The only way that you can post information is if you develop unique identifiers for each individual student via characters or numbers, and only you and the student knows what that number is. So generally, faculty do not post grades. You should not leave graded papers in a public area for students to pick up because they can see other students' grades. And if you should leave them with a third party within your department and ask that students pick them up from this individual, that individual should require a picture ID card so they can verify that they're actually releasing the information to that particular student. By the same token, I would not release grades over the phone because you're not able to verify that that is the student. And communication via email with confidential information is also not advised unless the email is encrypted to verify that really it is going to that particular student. If you need any other information, it's available at the website at the end of this video, and you can also call the registrar's office. And please, when you're in doubt, please do not hesitate to call the registrar's office at 775-5200. Thank you.